So as you all know, ladies and gentlemen, this on global peace leadership, and I think the first requisite of achieving peace is that we make this hall also peaceful by keeping our mobiles on peace mode. I think that will be the very, very auspicious beginning of the peace conference. Thank you very much. And now, may I request Professor Madan Mohan Verma, who is going to chair this inaugural session, to come and take his seat on the dais, please. Please give a big hand to Professor Madan Mohan Verma. May I request Swami Shantatmananji to also please come and take your seat. May I request Dr. Mufti Mukarram Ahmed Saab to please come and take your seat, sir. May I request Mr. James Flynn, International President, Global Peace Foundation. Please give him a big hand. Requesting now Geshi Dorji Damdal Saab to come and take his seat. I think the claps are in groups. I want all of you to clap for Ambassador Ashok Sajjanal. Sayyid Ghulam Kibriya Sahib. Big hand, please. Professor Chaturvedi. Has he arrived? Professor Chaturvedi.
He has not yet arrived.
Okay. Dr. Ibrahim Anli Saab, please clap for him. Swami Ratan Dev Ji is arriving very soon. Ambassador N.B. Jain Saab. Mr. Jess Dutton, Acting High Commissioner of Canada. And Professor Rashid Ahmed Kamal Saab. So once again I take this opportunity to welcome all of you, and we have amongst us His Excellency the Ambassador of Algeria, and I apologize I am not able to pronounce the name very correctly, so Ashraf Mohammed Hashmi. So my apology if I have done a mistake here. Welcome you, sir. So with this, now we have the first and perhaps the foremost ceremony of this morning, and that is obviously the lighting of the lamp. So I will have to request all the dignitaries sitting on the dais to take trouble to come near the lamp and do the lighting. And I will also request the other guests sitting in the front row at least to join them to give it a very, very diverse group of presentation for the lighting of the lamp. All the auspicious.
Bye. Sir.
We can begin.
भैया भैया
The lamp is laid here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very young, brilliant, melodious girl, Samai, who is going to recite Saraswati Vandana. Give her a big hand of encouragement and blessing to her. Am I right? So, thank you, Samay, once again. And now may I request the students of Alcon International School to come and present their rendition of one of the most beautiful prayers that all of us are aware of, and that is what you can call it Ram Dhun, you can call it All Faith Prayer, and you can call it something which is a greatest tribute that we can give to our father of nation, Mahatma Gandhi. Students of Alcon International School.
अंकल जी
Stay here because you have to do one very, very important duty. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And now I'll request the students to present their token of souvenir, love and affection. So kindly accept it and give your blessings to them. So please take the plants and souvenir and come, I'll guide you.
सर पीछे आना
Yeah, come this side. Yeah. Mr. Engel, just there. Yeah. So once more blessings. Sir, to kindly present a shawl to our guest, Mr. James, the International President, Global Peace Foundation. Yeah. Thank you, sir. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Global Peace Conference that is being organized, many people work for that, but there is always a source of inspiration. There is always a source of that energy reservoir from every direction, every planning detail, all meticulous things that happen preceding the day of inauguration, and that goes to our source of inspiration, Professor Verma, who is the chair of the session. Give him a big hand. And now I'll request Professor Verma to come open the session, introduce the session, and carry forward the inaugural session. Professor Verma.
Namaskar. Good morning, everybody. As an organizer and convener of this conference, I feel overwhelmed to see such a warm and massive response on this working day, that too in the winter of December. I'm happy to mention that we received more than 100 papers and abstracts at this conference from professors and research scholars from all over the country, even across the whole world. I welcome the renowned dignitaries on the dais and all the renowned dignitaries who are seated on sofas in front of the dais. I welcome all the excellencies and the diplomats from foreign missions in New Delhi. I welcome all the distinguished speakers and learned participants, learned panelists, paper presenters, and discussants in this conference. I welcome you all, friends, ladies, and gentlemen. Lastly, I welcome very cordially and especially welcome the students of Elkan International School who had given a very enchanting performance. And and Smile, our own child, the granddaughter of Major General P.K. Sehgal, she's only 10 plus, who gave an amazing performance at this. Look at her age. Last of all, I welcome Principal Ashok Panditji also, and I thank him for the good words that he has spoken. Friends, it's a global leadership conference for peace, harmony. That is the purpose, that is the goal, that is the objective. What means are we going to adopt to bring about peace and harmony? That can be achieved through interfaith partnerships, and that too on global basis, on global ethics, on the basis of global ethics, on the basis of unity, on the basis of universal principles of human values. So our emphasis is just to have a disinterested study of scriptures and identify as to why there is no peace in the world, why there is a disharmony in various parts of the globe, who is the mischief monger, who is creating disharmony, and in what manner we can bring about harmony, peace, and brotherhood on this planet. I think it calls for a disinterested study of spiritual scriptures, and we should follow the basic principles of all religions. Friends, being the chair of the session, I will not like to make any speech in the beginning, and I will make presidential remarks at the end. Now, I would like to invite Swami Shant Atmanandaji, who is Secretary Ramakrishna Mission. We want him to bless us, to speak good words, to educate us and tell us why there is no peace and how best we can bring about peace on this planet. Swami.
Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness to light, and from death to immortality. Om Peace, Peace, Peace. Respected dignitaries on the dais, those who are sitting in front, and the wonderful lovers of peace who have gathered on this whole morning to deliberate in depth how to bring in peace and harmony in this world. On this occasion, it's worth remembering the pioneer of such interfaith harmony in this world, that is Swami Vivekananda, whose 150th birth anniversary was celebrated for 3 years starting from 2011. In the World Parliament of Religions held in Chicago in 1893, it was Swami Vivekananda, for the first time, who stood up on a global platform to announce the dire need for harmony and interfaith understanding. Before that, no other religious leader has openly declared the need for such understanding on any international forum or a platform. He explained the idea very beautifully. He told a very nice story. He said that why do we disagree? He said there was a frog in a well. It had grown fat and he was very comfortable in that well. Suddenly one day another frog from the sea accidentally fell into that. So the frog in the well greeted it saying, "Who are you? Why have you come here?" And the frog from the sea said, "Sir, I have just fallen into this well by accident. I come from the sea." "Oh, how big is the sea?" Is it as big as a well? The frog of the well jumped from one end of the well to the other. And the frog from the sea was at loss to explain. He said, "No, how do you compare your well with the sea? It's at least several thousand times bigger than your well." Then, the frog of the well said, "No, you are a liar. There can be nothing bigger than a well. You have come here to occupy my well and drive me out." And then the whole audience burst into laughter. Then Swamiji said, "That is precisely the problem. The Hindu sits in his own little well and thinks the entire world is his. The Christian does in his own little well and he thinks the whole world is his, and so was the Mohammedan and so on." So, and then he ended at the concluding session, "Soon upon the banner of every religion, in spite of resistance, it will be written the words, help and not fight, assimilation and not destruction, harmony and peace and not dissension." Of course, he was the outstanding star of the entire parliament. Following him for the last 120 years, Ramakrishna's mission has been the spearhead of such interfaith efforts in India and also in several parts of the globe, because we have centers almost in every part of the world. But then, Swami Vivekananda himself drew his inspiration, ideas, etc. from his guru, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, a 19th century mystic, who really gave a new meaning, new interpretation to the ancient scriptural wisdom of the Hindus. The Indian scriptures say that Ekam Sat Vipra Baudha Vadanti. Truth is one, sages or men of wisdom call it variously. This is a very well understood concept in Hinduism. But then, Sri Ramakrishna put it in a language which is more acceptable, more understandable, when he said that Yatho Mat Tato Pat, as many faiths, so many paths. He said the road to the ultimate or the road to the ultimate truth can have innumerable paths. People can choose accordingly. And this is something so normal, so logical. So he shifted the entire emphasis. Much of the conflict, much of the disharmony, what's happening all over the world in the name of religion. Of course, religion is not the only reason for conflicts in the world. If people have the misunderstanding, they should first get rid of it. Much of the misunderstanding is coming to the economic considerations and so many other factors. Quite often religion takes the blame. Still, being a religious leader or from such a background, obviously we should address our area of concern. So, one of the major reasons for these kind of conflicts is people talking about the differences of some of the ultimate truths without having traversed the journey at all. Where exactly is the difference? It's about the ultimate definition of God, the idea of redemption, the idea of hell or heaven or ultimate goal and so on. So Sri Ramakrishna said, don't worry about the goal. Whatever is according to your preference, your predilection, your nature, you pursue the path. He shifted the emphasis from talking about a goal which one is not really aware of or conversant with or was not at the experience. He shifted the emphasis to sadhana or practice. He said one should become a real practitioner. Whatever be your faith, whatever be your belief, practice it sincerely, seriously, ultimately you will reach the goal. And if you really believe in such a superior power, as all religions do believe, if you make a mistake in your journey or your path, that superior power itself will correct you and take you along the right path. So the entire emphasis is shifted from talking about the goal and the ultimate etc. to the idea that one should become a serious practitioner, and thereby the emphasis was shifted on experience or anubhuti or anubhava. So as long as you work on those lines, it's possible to bring about a great sense of harmony and understanding. Now in this regard, where exactly are the difficulties and what's the way ahead? I will briefly touch upon because we have all been given very little time to speak here today. There are other distinguished speakers. Now one of the reasons is, when you talk about practice or practitioners, this is a major area of concern for all religions today. We are talking about interfaith religion. Let us address the problem within our own religions. People are flying away, fleeing away from religion itself. People are not interested. If you go to most of the Western countries today, the churches are empty, many other places are empty, people are no longer interested in religion. So, as a genuine religious leader or someone believing in religion, our first duty is to bring people back to religion, back to a basic faith, something to guide their life. That is the first step for bringing about an interfaith harmony at a later stage. After all, if you don't have believers at all, where is the question of interfaith harmony? First of all, we should have people who believe in their own faith, then only we can talk about bringing about harmony at a deeper level. So the most important and urgent need for religious leaders all over the world is to bring followers to their own faith at least. Let people believe, let us live a life. A new kind of community is also emerging in the world today, spiritual but not religious, SBNR. They don't believe in any religion, they believe in certain values. So people are thinking, people are more conscious, people are more aware. Unless you present your religion in a form which will satisfy reason, logic, and it will appeal to the finer sentiments of people, religions are going to become less and less popular and people are going away. So that is the first task, is to bring people. And then the second, probably the leaders, the global leaders, religious leaders, everywhere they should try to influence the governments. Because even in the ancient days, religion spread largely not so much because of religious leaders, more than by the government themselves. That is the clear growth of Christianity, Islam and many other religions is because of the governments, the kings and those who are in power. So supposing the religious leaders can influence the respective governments to introduce this idea of interfaith harmony and understanding even in school curriculums all over the world, we will be taking a major step towards such an idea, because when people grow up in an entirely different atmosphere at a sufficiently grown up age, it's not really possible to bring about much of a change in the mindset. But then if this kind of a basic ideas of interfaith harmony and understanding, giving space for others, accepting other ideas, accepting that there can be numerous paths to the ultimate goal, if this idea in a fundamental form can be given in the school curriculum itself, probably we'll be doing a major surveys to interfaith harmony all over the world. That's another major duty upon all of us. Finally, the third step, I think we always talk about interfaith harmony in an atmosphere where every person present is clearly imbued, has clearly accepted this idea. Can we take this message down to the masses at the level of followers? For example, Mr. Thomas and Ms. Malaka, many others know, every year on the 24th of December, on the Christmas Eve, we celebrate a beautiful Christmas Eve function in our own temple. We decorate the picture of Christ in Madana. We invite the Archbishop of Delhi, Dr. Thomas, Father Dominic Emmanuel, they all come. We celebrate Christmas Eve with same sincerity, same Shraddha, same fervor as we celebrate any other the Tithi or the birthday of our own gods and goddesses. So, can we go a step forward instead of talking all these only in such enlightened atmosphere and completely furthering the followers down below? Can we take it to the level of masses? Not only that, in our congregations, in our churches, in our temples, in our mass, can we give this to our followers, at least in a rudimentary form? Unless we do that, however we talk about all this in a very enlightened gathering, it will not percolate down to the level of the followers. So what we need is to take this message to the level of the followers and also finally form at least a genuine core group of committee where this committee, whenever there is any major unrest or misunderstanding or communal disturbance in any part of the globe, this committee will immediately go there, address the issue, be with them, spend a few days, bring back a sense of harmony and understanding amongst them, and that is directly working at the levels of the grassroots, directly going to the areas of problem, and that is how we can really spread the interfaith harmony. So ultimately, how the religious leaders take the message down to their own followers, that's a matter of great importance, and that's what we should really address. I'm sure this wonderful gathering with such enlightened people will bring out many more enlightening ideas, and ultimately all of us will arrive at a solution, some kind of a formula where we can really usher in lasting peace and harmony in this world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Swamiji, for your words of wisdom and your suggestions to work at the grassroots level. I will request every dignitary to please share his wisdom and experience with us within a stipulated time of 7 to 10 minutes. Thank you. Next I request Dr. Mufti Mukarram Sahab, who's Shahi Imam of Fatehpuri Masjid, Chandni Chowk, Delhi. Please share your wisdom and ideas with us. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Honorable Mr. James, Honorable Professor Verma, all dignitaries on the dais, all friends, brothers and sisters, especially my friends of all religions, Swamiji, Mr. Merchant, Mr. Malik, and all religious leaders. So many times we are meeting in interfaith meetings, in all places, and I am always favoring the interfaith peace performance, because our religion, Islam, is the religion of peace, tolerance, brotherhood, sympathy, kindness, and favor to all. it is a pleasure for me that I am participating and joining this Global Peace Conference 2014. And indeed, I am appreciating this conference, and I hope that this conference will achieve its goals. Professor Razi Ahmad Kamal and all friends has told me about the aims and objects of this, and our main object is to establish peace. Peace all over the world. Because we believe in one Allah, the Almighty, who is most beneficent, most merciful to all His creatures, to all the world. And our Prophet of Islam, Prophet Muhammad, is also merciful to all the universe. He hates any kind of injustice. He discouraged any kind of cruelty. Even the abusing of any person is very much high sin in our Islam. And we are proud of to saying this. Islam is a religion of peace, tolerance, and our Prophet Muhammad was the savior of humanity. He has meetings with all religious leaders. And though the time is very short, and I also appreciate Mr. Swamiji, who has told very clearly, and I am also, we should respect all religions. We should follow our religions truly, because I believe and I have faith that every religion guides us to the good deeds. When we have meetings with each other, we say Assalamu alaikum. It means safety, security, health and wealth and all kind of happiness be with you. In every time and every place and every field of you, in your health and wealth and children and all. But it is a matter of great concern that in the name of Islam, some persons are spreading cruelty, injustice, and we strongly condemn them. And we also say that any type of terrorism, any kind of injustice is absolutely against the religion of Islam. Finally, I am appreciating this conference, and I am also thankful to all organizers, to all dignitaries, ambassadors, and all religious leaders, and I hope that this conference will achieve its goal. And it is very much necessary to have faith in religions and to have faith in peace. And inshallah, I hope that by the will of Allah and with the blessings of Prophet Muhammad, we will achieve all this. And I congratulate all organizers organizing this conference, and I convey my blessings and compliments to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mufti Mukarram Sahab. We have nothing against. We respect all prophets. We respect all scriptures. But the irony of the situation is, who bothers about it? Who cares for the scriptures? And is the teaching of scripture known to masses? Is the teaching of scriptures imparted to masses? and that different interpretations of one particular scripture leading to dichotomy, leading to division, leading to bickering, leading to bloodshed is taking place all the world over. This is the irony of the situation. Quran Sharif is very pious. On every page of the Holy Quran, there is mention of peace, peace, Om Shanti, everywhere. But then we have to see what is happening on various countries of the world. How peace is shattered, how it is broken, and what role the religious people are, religious leaders are playing all over the world. They are dividing the masses for their selfish gains, for their motivations, and for their holy alliances with politicians. That has created disharmony in the society. And here we are aware of the global ethics, we are aware of the universal human values, we are aware of the teachings of the Holy Quran, teachings of Bible, teachings of Dhammapad, teachings of all scriptures of the world. But the truth of the matter is, who cares and who follows them? That is the big question. And what role, as Swami Shanta Atmananda has said, that we have to play, that it's the religious leaders, I think, partly it's they who have divided the world, and it is once again the religious leaders have to make efforts to unite the people on the basis of universal truth, on the basis of universal human values, on the basis of global ethics. Thank you so much, Mufti Mukarram Sahab. Next, I invite Mr. James Flynn, who is International President of Global Peace Foundation. He's come from US. Please give him a welcome. He's the leader of the Global Peace Foundation, and under his wise and experienced guidance, the various units of this Global Peace Foundation all over the world, they are working under his guidance and wisdom, his experience.
Good morning, esteemed religious and spiritual leaders, Your Excellencies, distinguished friends and guests. Good morning, and I bring you greetings on behalf of the Global Peace Foundation, our founder and international chairman, Dr. Hyunjin Preston Moon, and our leadership network on every continent and operating in 15 branches around the world. It is a great honor to be here in New Delhi and to meet with and discuss with such a distinguished group of leaders here in this most important nation of India. I would say that around the world, the topics that are being discussed here today are of the utmost importance. And leaders around the world are looking for inspiration and answers and guidance for the way forward. And it is with such a heart to seek that kind of wisdom and experience and guidance that we convene here in India, the birthplace and the root of so many important spiritual and religious traditions. And so we thank you so much for this opportunity to share with you and to meet with you here in these 2 days. I would like to take the opportunity of using a little technology. I expect that my American accent might be a little foreign to you, so I hope that a visual aid will help me to make some points in the brief time that I have.
I understand the American heart, not the accent.
Thank you so much. We all know that our world has changed dramatically and rapidly within a few decades. That change has brought great opportunity and promise to our world. It has changed us in so many ways. The ways we communicate, the ways we engage and do business, the ways we travel. And so that opens up in this era of globalization tremendous opportunity for development of the human experience. And that is a very, very positive thing. At the same time, those rapid and dramatic changes have brought brought new challenges and difficulties to us in our world today. And so, despite the positive, dramatic transformation and change, tragic conflicts continue in our world. In the last half of the 20th century, 1945 to 2000, more than 50 million people were killed in wars and other violent conflicts. Just one portion of the tragic toll of the 20th century. Since World War II, identity-based conflicts among non-state actors have accounted for the majority of violent clashes around the world. Our dilemma in this era of globalization in the 21st century is, on the one hand, we have great promise. Our advance and development allows us to build great cities of great technical advance. We have the capability to do that, but we lack the ethical maturity to live together in peace and harmony. This is the great dilemma of our time, what we would consider an ethical challenge, an ethical crisis, the most important challenge facing humanity today, in our opinion. Expressed in a quote that I find very telling, an American leader, General Omar Bradley, said this: "Ours is a world of nuclear giants and ethical infants. We know more about war than we know about peace, more about killing than we know about living. We have grasped the mystery of the atom and rejected the Sermon on the Mount." Our challenge today is a challenge that is a moral dilemma, an ethical dilemma, an ethical challenge. And so as we consider for our discussions and our conference here over these next 2 days, I would like to identify a number of critical issues that we think are of the utmost importance globally. First of all, that extremism in the name of religion is fomenting conflict and violence on every continent. That religion is often seen as the cause of division rather than as a source of solution. Identity-based conflict is becoming more and more prevalent. There is widespread corruption in many nations. Societies in developed nations are becoming increasingly secular and materialistic, with the loss of common values and ethical standards. There's a lack of cohesion in diverse societies, serious family breakdown in many nations, and political processes alone do not provide viable ways to resolve deep-seated conflicts or to build sustainable peace. I ask of you to consider these critical issues. What becomes most apparent is that our world today is in need of spiritual leadership more than ever. Solving the fundamental challenges facing our world today requires spiritual leadership. And even though in our modern and often secular societies there is a short-term rejection of those kinds of dimensions of life, in the longer run we know that without addressing the moral dilemma facing our world, then the future of humanity is bleak. I suggest that the topics of discussion here in this country rich in spiritual tradition and history, most important for the future of humanity. And so, in that kind of context, it is our view in the Global Peace Foundation that interfaith leadership is the most important element, ingredient, for peace building in our world today, along with strengthening families and communities and promoting a culture of service and peace, especially among young people, that interfaith, family, and service are the necessary ingredients to peace building in our world today. For addressing these critical challenges, we would suggest that vision and leadership are critically needed, vitally needed. Vision that resonates with our common humanity and addresses the root cause of identity-based conflict. And leadership that has moral authority, gained by leading through example, setting the right precedents of ethical action. to begin with, vision is what is most important, vision. And so it is our view that in order to address the pressing problems of our world today, we must understand the essence of our common humanity and find in that the basis of our most essential identity. Before I am a Christian or a Muslim or a Hindu or a Jew, before I am an American or an Indian or a Pakistani or a Malaysian, before I am of a particular ethnic or tribal background, most fundamentally, I am part of the human family. We naturally and intuitively recognize our connectedness as part of one human family. We are one family because we share a common origin and heritage which at its essence is a spiritual heritage. All people, regardless of race, nationality, religion, or culture, are members of one family under God. And it is in such a simple starting point that we believe we can find the solution, the way forward in addressing the cause of identity-based conflict in our world today. And it is through affirming that fundamental human family as our most essential identity that we can also see the way to achieve what is aspired to around the world, to have unity in diversity. I suggest that in the model of family, that we see how we have the fundamental connectedness and at the same time the experience of the uniqueness, the beauty and dignity of the uniqueness of every single human being. All of us have experience as fathers, as mothers, as brothers and sisters, as sons and daughters, as grandchildren and grandparents. And we can see in that family, that a family model, the connectedness that is most essential, and at the same time, appreciate and recognize the uniqueness of every one of our family members. One family under God, we believe, is a simple vision statement that is critically important in our world today. Faith leadership and interfaith partnerships are the first and foremost ingredient for peace building. Faith leaders naturally should be the voice of conscience within society. And while we respect the significant differences in doctrine among various faith traditions, and we do believe it's important to honor those differences, we also think it is most important that we recognize and focus on the broad common ground among the various faith traditions in the moral imperative to serve others. And I believe that's here in India you have the ethos and history of different faith traditions working together, connecting together in the most significant way. Interfaith partnerships based on shared responsibility to promote ethical science are essential to resolving conflicts and overcoming injustice and ending corruption. And so here in India, one of the topics discussed in this forum is the legacy of spiritual leadership and peace building. We find it most significant that you have a time-honored philosophy here, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which has guided the nation of India for millennia based on an understanding of world family. Already within your history and legacy is this understanding and practice most important for our world today. So we believe that it is that India's rich heritage of philosophy and spirituality, coupled with its global leadership, growing leadership in the world, that make it ideally poised to lead the discussion on a global vision and framework for peace. And that also in India, we can see a model develop and emerge that can instruct the world on the importance of faith and action. And so, to summarize a few of the main points that I hope that we can consider and think about in our discussions in this conference is to consider the important elements of interfaith partnership from the point of view of the Global Peace Foundation. Ethical society